This father raised his two daughters alone. It happened that a widow lived next door, who promoted herself to the man every day, and she claimed she would treat his daughters as her own. The man couldn't resist the temptation and gave in, marrying the widow next door. Before long, the widow began to make things difficult for the two children in every way. She even wanted the man to take his daughters to the forest. The purpose was supposedly to cultivate their survival skills. In the end, the man chose his wife over his children. Fortunately, the elder daughter overheard the stepmother's scheme, so she prepared countermeasures in advance. The next day, their father took them into the forest. The elder sister used the grain she had prepared to mark the route. When they reached deep into the forest, their father suggested resting right there. After the children fell asleep, he secretly returned home. When the little girl woke up and found no trace of her father, she began to cry. The elder sister comforted her younger sister, saying they could follow the markers home. However, the grain on the ground had already been eaten by birds. The two sisters were completely lost in the forest. Meanwhile, the evil stepmother had learned witchcraft. She cursed the two sisters. If they drank water that animals had touched, they would turn into those animals. Soon, the younger sister turned into a little deer because of this. Helplessly, the two sisters could only continue forward. The two took shelter in a huge hollow tree to rest. The next day, a young king was hunting in this area. He discovered the beautiful elder sister and the little deer, but the elder sister was afraid the king would harm her sister, so she hid. Only after the king promised not to harm her sister did the elder sister slowly emerge from the tree hollow. The king was captivated by the elder sister's beautiful appearance. He actually proposed to her right then and there, so the elder sister followed the king back to the palace to become queen. After a long time, the king went out hunting again, and on this day, the elder sister gave birth to a little prince. Unexpectedly, this news reached the stepmother's ears. Her daughter's dream was to become queen, so she told the queen that the newly built pond in the palace was very beautiful, and the queen could go to the lakeside to relax. The evil cook pushed the queen into the pond. Then she had her daughter put on the queen's clothes. When the king returned, the cook immediately told him the good news about the little prince. The king was very happy and gently kissed his son. When he wanted to kiss his queen, he was startled by the ugly woman. The cook claimed this was caused by childbirth and was a normal phenomenon. Helplessly, the king could only accept this reality. And every night, the queen's spirit would return. She would ask her sister if her child had been crying, and this was overheard by the malicious cook. So she developed murderous intentions toward the little deer sister. The next day, she had her daughter pretend to be ill, claiming that eating the little deer's heart and liver would cure her. Although the king was reluctant, he still complied. When the kitchen was boiling water and sharpening knives, the little deer seized the opportunity to run to the pond and call for her sister. Upon learning of the little deer's plight, the sister's spirit appeared, and the king, who was hiding behind a tree, learned the truth. He touched the queen's shoulder and she came back to life. The three embraced tightly. Then the king paraded the evil cook and her daughter through the streets for public humiliation. The king's family lived happily ever after.
Happily ever after.